Alright, hello once again, Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College, and I'm going over this 10-part series on the MVC3 MusicStore, which I'm trying to upgrade to MVC5. So far I've gone over the overview and file new project, controllers, and I'm in the middle of views and view models. So, as it says here, a view template that just displays hard-coded HTML isn't going to do much. To create a dynamic website, we'll instead want to pass information from our controller, so the controller should do something. Alright? And not necessarily will it do something, but it will call routines to do something. Remember, the controller by itself, really its job is to be more of a supervisor. So in the model view controller pattern, the term model refers to objects which represent the data in the application. Often these equate to tables in a database, although they do not have to. Controller action methods which return an action result can pass a model object to the view, which allows the controller to cleanly package up all information needed to generate response, pass this off to the view. In other words, it's doing its job. It is acting as the conduit or the go-between between the model and the controller because, again, the model and the view. The model and the view do not directly communicate with one another. This is easiest to understand by seeing it in action, so let's get started. First, we'll create some model classes to represent the genres and albums within our store. Let's start by creating a genre class. So right-click on Models, choose Add Class, and choose genre.cs. So let's close our content folder here. We can close our controllers folder here. Let's right-click on Models, Add, and go to Class. All right. And we are told, I'm sorry, got to go back again, that we are to call this genre.cs. There it is. Now there's nothing in here. Click Add. There it is. All right. Not a whole lot in it right now. Again, we've got our namespace and the name of our class. We're going to put some stuff in here right now. Again, just for time's sake, I'm going to just copy the stuff in. So for right now, we're just going to put in this. Public string name get set. So let's look at what they explain about that. It says, in case you're wondering, the get set notation takes advantage of C's auto-implemented properties features. It allows, rather than having us do an actual get method and a set method, where the get is an accessor which gives us information, the set is a mutator which allows us to set information. It does it automatically for us. So as it says, it gives the benefits of a property without requiring us to declare a backing field to do that. Next, we want to do the same thing, but we want an album. So let me just copy this. So we're going to come in here. We want an album.cs class. So we're going to come in here again, right mouse click on Models, Add, Class. I think it was album and not albums. Typically it's singular, so album.cs. There's our second class, our album class, and there's the information in there. All right, so cool. Save, jump back into here. Students might be coming in here fairly soon. If they do, then this will become a 3-part lecture, because once they come in, they start making noise, I'm going to stop. All right. Now we can modify the store controller to use views which display dynamic information from our model. If, for demonstration purposes right now, we had named our albums-based request ID, we could be doing it like this. But we didn't do that. So we're going to start, as it says here, by changing the store details action that we have so that it shows information for a single album. All right, it says add a using section to the top of the controllers, which is right here. Now ours is not going to be this. Ours is going to be MusicStore.models. All right, so let's do that first. So let's start by changing the store details action. So we want to go to the store controller class, which we have under controllers, and it might be open already, store controller. All right, and we want to add in here a using. Now, ours is not called MVC MusicStore models. Ours is MusicStore models. That's why we got the red squiggly, and now that's been fixed. All right. Next, we'll update the details controller so that it returns an action result rather than a string, as we did with the home controller. Okay, so we want to change it so that it looks like this. Now we can modify the logic to return an album object to the view. Later in this tutorial, we'll be using a database, but for now we'll be using dummy data. So in other words, I want to change the details method that's in there, if there is one. There's our details method. All right. So this is older details method. All right. So I'm just going to comment all of this stuff out. All right, so that's fixed, so to speak. And now we're going to paste that in. You notice we don't have any errors, but we changed it. Rather than returning a string, we're returning an action result. And that'll be a view, and that view will be, all right, whatever album we want. And that'll be based on the ID that we put in here. So, now it says if you're unfamiliar with C#, you may assume that using var means that our variable is late bound. Late bound means that something is reconciled at runtime. No, that's not the case. This is early bound, which means it's going to be reconciled at compile time. So the C# compiler uses a type inference based on what we're assigning. All right. So it says let's now create a view template that uses our album to generate an HTML response. Before we do that, we need to build the project so that the add view knows about our newly created album class. You can build it by a debug build or a Control-Shift-B. I'm just going to do a debug. In fact, I'm just going to do a build solution. There we go. That's the easiest way as far as I'm concerned. All right. Now that we've set up our supporting classes, we're ready to build our view template. Right-click on the details method and select Add View. And it brings up our familiar now Add View dialog. We are going to create a new view template like we did before with the home controller. Because we're creating it from the store controller, by default, it'll be under View's store index, whereas we did the one with home, it was under View's home index. And again, it'll be a CSHTML file, C# hypertext markup language, so it's an HTML file which allows us to use Razor syntax. Unlike before, it says we are going to check the create a strongly typed view. I don't think I can do that because we don't have that. But I'll check. No pun intended there. So, you notice that's called details by default. We don't have a thing in here for, as they mentioned right there, so we don't have this, create a strongly typed view, so I can't do that. All right, when we click add, we should have this. So let's click add and let's see if indeed what we get is this. So details, click add. Now again, this is a view, so when we look under view right now, we should see this changing. We now have a store and it's got a details file in it. There it is. All right. Now again, don't worry about the squigglies. They will end up going away, but what I want to do is I want to take this, make it smaller, move it over, all right? And it says, well, we don't have that at model statement, all right? But we've got everything else. View bag equal details, details. Good. So that's good. All right, we're right on as far as I can tell. So this said that it was a strongly typed to the album class. Let's see if we can add that. I don't know if we can or not. All right, and we can make this a strongly typed view. I don't know if this will work. So, well, the good news is we did not get an error message after we do that. We should not get an error message there. All right, so hopefully I just made that a strongly typed view. We'll find out as we go on. All right, again, I'm winging this, and I love it. All right, so notice the first line indicates this is a strongly typed view. Update the H2 tag so that it displays the album's title property. So we're going to want to do this. Saying details really isn't very reflective of anything. Here's an example, the first time in this project, where we're combining HTML with C#, and then more HTML. All right, I'm just going to save. I don't think it's a bad time to do that. All right. It says, notice the IntelliSense is triggered after you put in the period. Maybe it did. I don't know. I don't really care. So it says, let's rerun the project, and let's go to here. Remember, for right now, we are hard coding this information in. And the reason I'm telling you that, the reason that that is important, all right, is later, instead of hard coding things in like we're doing now, we will be using a database. All right? So let me, while that's getting ready, catch back up onto here. All right. And as you can see, I've got an error message. Contains a null entry for the parameter ID. Well, that looks like one I'm probably not going to be able to fix like that. But I'm going to copy all of it. And probably I won't find a match here, but I'm going to try anyway. Did you mean the contains a null entry? So let's see. Answers. You are expecting an ID parameter, but you aren't supplying one. Oh, okay. I think this is an easy fix. All right, great. So let's go back to here, and this was our error. All right. So instead of details, I think what we were supposed to say here was details 5. So it was looking for information we were not providing. It's spinning around, it's thinking about it. In an ideal world, it's going to come back and look like this. There we go. Album 5. Hot dog. All right, good. So let's jump back. Jump back to here first. And it says, now that worked, so we're going to make a similar update for the store browse action method. Update the method so that it returns an action result and modify the logic so it creates a genre object. So we're going to go to our browse method, copy that. So let's go back to our so that was the older one. Let's go to our browse method, and we'll call this, we'll put another comment up here that will say older browse method. Inconsistent here. So again, I'm going to comment out, 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 and out. All right, now I'm going to paste this in. Okay, I'm cheating a little bit doing it this way, but I'm doing this for time reasons. All right, right click on the browse and do an add view. We're going to do the same thing we just did before. Now we're going to see if we can get the model class set up. So again, we're going to right mouse click on view, do an add view. This should be called browse by default. The template model class is not showing right here. That isn't good news. But I'm hoping that it'll still be alright even without that in here. We're going to find out. Alright, so we now have browse in there as well. Okay. So we've done that. We want to come in here and put in this into that view file. Again, I'm cheating a little bit here by just copying the code in directly. And this has to say MusicStore instead of MVC MusicStore. It's got here model.name. And my hope is that we can figure out what this error is, because I'm getting making good progress in here. Oh, same problem as I just had. I'm sorry. So I want to come in here and oh, wait a minute. No, it's not the same problem. It doesn't like this with the model.name in there. It's not giving me any way to fix that either. Cannot convert method group name to non-delegate object type. Cannot convert, again, you see what I'm doing here. Method group name cannot convert method group name to non-delegate object. Non-delegate type object. Did you intend to invoke the method? Okay. Again, I'm going to come into here, paste in the error directly. Probably should put in here ASP.NET error. I probably should have done it before I put in the other one too, but let's see. Because you need to call it. The name of it .get. Have you tried searching the Googles? Yeah. Properties. And I will tell you, I'm telling you where it should be getting named from. All right, I can show you that. And that is when we had our genre class, there's name. All right, so namespace musicstore.models. And when we I'm wondering, let's look at something here. Maybe this one shouldn't be this. And it goes away. Okie doke. All right, so as I'm running through this, all right, let me try to run it, and then we will stop the lesson right here. So I'm going to come through here, and I'm going to go back into from my browse.cshtml. I've saved. Let's do a view in browser, and I'm going to get an error because I needed to put a name in there. So I'll probably get an error right here, and that's okay, because it's looking for a parameter for the name. Oh, okay. Didn't give me it, it just didn't put a name in there. So let's put in there, I think we're going to have to put in disco. Yeah. So we are told to run it. Oh, it's not going to like that. So we're supposed to put it in like this. So now I might get an error. Nope, just didn't like anything. So let's put that in like this. So after the name of our port, we're just going to put in this, and we get disco. Good. All right. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop right here. We will make this a three-part lecture. All right, so I'm going to stop right here where it says, finally, let's make it a slightly more complex update. So I'm on page 19 of 25, and I will come back and I will finish that in the next lecture.